scrappy friends, welcome to the Clique Kits channel. This is Hannah with you, and I am working on a mixed media layout, and it's going to be super simple. I am taking some of my shimmer stuff that I have, and these are the Inklings, and so you just spray a little bit of water on it and you get some watercolors, and this is a mint color, so I am just going to put a blob, if you will, up at the top and up at the bottom in the corners. Um, I want to do just like a watercolor spot. So it's not really precise. Because this is a really light color, I really had to put on the watercolor. So, one thing I would recommend if you want to try something similar to this is either know that your paper is going to warp like crazy, because mine did. Um, Especially because I was using a thinner piece. This is the textured American Craft cardstock, which is a lot thinner than what I usually like to use for mixed media. I usually use the smooth kind, and it's a little bit thicker. Now I added this next part while those blobs were wet, which made something amazing happen. And I wasn't quite expecting it, and I don't know why, because I should have known it. But when I added the stripes along the middle-ish area and they went into the blob, it really just like spread out like crazy, which happens when you add a wet watercolor section in another wet watercolor section. They just bleed, that second color bleeds into the other color, and it just like pushes the other color out of the way, and you get this really cool effect, especially if it's really wet. And because I had to use a lot of that mint color, this blue color just like really went out, and it looks awesome. And it wasn't what I was expecting. Like I said, I don't know why. I should have known this. I've done similar things like this on watercolor paper in an art journal and stuff. But nonetheless, it turned out really awesome, and I really liked how it looks. So I think that as I'm working on this part, it will really just help create some extra texture and elements to my page that I wasn't trying to get. Also, as you can see, I just did some black, just dots with acrylic paint that I thinned down a little bit. So it's one of my things that I like to do with ink blobs. If you really just want like splatters, acrylic paint that you water down with, you could use either water or you could use a paint thinner, and acrylic medium, airbrush medium is what I like to use, and you can get this really smooth. On the paint doesn't separate as much, so it keeps that structure, and you get these raised bits, and so it really looks cool when you take pictures and stuff. If that's the kind of thing that you're looking for. If that doesn't matter to you, then you can definitely use any kind of types of sprays to get splatters as well. Like Heidi Swap can work pretty good. So now I'm going to work on these layers. Behind my photo, I have a square photo. I want to say it's not quite 4x4. It might be a little bit closer because of the border, but so this is a picture that I took for Clique Kits, and it is of their sequins. So I'm going to use it because it's one of my favorite photos that I've taken in a while. Probably because it's so pretty. Besides photos of my kids and everything. It's one of my favorite photos, and I just knew that I wanted to use it, which is why I had it printed out on a really nice piece of printer, or like paper. I had this actually sent out, which I don't do very often. I usually print my stuff at home, but I really wanted a few photos of my own to just look a little bit nicer. So this is a matte finish, and so it's on a really thick piece of paper. It's almost like a watercolory paper. which kind of is fun. So I took that twine that was in the May kit, the main one, and I'm mostly using stuff from the main kit, but I do end up bringing in a few pieces from the Traveler's Notebook kit for the May kit, and which features Pink Fresh Studios. So I love their stuff. I just, I've kind of followed them since they've started, and um, some collections I've liked a lot more, but this one is just really fun to play with. I'm really enjoying it. Should say collections, because both of these kits have a mix of both of the of a couple of their different collections. They actually have 3 that are out right now, but that's beside the point. So definitely check out the store and see what kind of add-ons you can get that they have of other Pink Fresh Studio stuff, because that is one of the great things about the add-ons in our store, is that we have a little bit extra that isn't in the kits, that you can just make your kit even go further. And not that you can't make these kits go far, because let me tell you, there's so much stuff in it. There's so many embellishments in these kits. Oh, I had the hardest time, and this is what I'm doing right now. I'm having the hardest time figuring out, what do I really want to add, because I really want this photo to shine. I want you to see the photo, which is why I did just a little bit of media and then those stripes. I wanted it to be pretty white on the outside and have a lot of open space, and that photo to be pretty center. Also, adding that twine really brings your eye up. And then I added that flare over top of the flare that was in the photo. I thought that was kind of fun. Just a little fun aspect of that. So it really make that, where that flare was, just pop, right? And so yeah, I did add part of a doily down near the bottom with that strip of paper, and I'm going to add a little bit more stuff later, but I'm kind of looking to see what die cuts I want, and I want to go I want to use these florals. They're so gorgeous, these florals with the copper color, and oh my goodness, or rose gold, whatever you want to call it. They're just super fun. There's so many of them, and they're really awesome for layering, but I really didn't want to overdo this, which is, that there's always this fine line, and especially when you do mixed media, I tend to kind of go over that line, but I think that there's this line of how much is too much for what you're doing on your page and what kind of story you want to tell. I knew I wanted to also add some journaling on there as well, because I kind of want to talk about some stuff, and maybe not necessarily relating to the photo, but I just, I want to talk about photography a little bit, because this is something that has kind of started coming into my life the past year that I didn't really expect. And I knew as I started scrapbooking, I knew that I needed to make my photography skills better. But as I started playing around and really playing with taking photos and stuff, I realized just how much I actually like that part has become really important to me. Just, capturing some different things. And sometimes it's sequins with a flare in it in a cupcake tin, and sometimes it's that smile on my face, on my kid's face, when they're working out a math problem, or when they're playing games together, or when they're outside exploring and they see something and they're just exploring, and you see that look in their eye, or that look in my dog's face when I'm about to throw the ball and she's gonna come running towards me and to try to catch it, like those moments that you capture on with your camera, and you feel those things, and that is what I really have been enjoying. And those are the things that I enjoy every single day, is being able to take those moments. And so that's what this layout is about. It's obviously, it became very journaling themed without meaning to. But this is the awesome part about mixed media, is you can easily take those feelings and kind of play with them on a piece of paper, right? And like I said, I wanted to have some of it be really interesting with having the blobs of paint and then those stripes going over top of it, even though, like I said, it didn't quite turn out the way I thought it was going to, and I thought it was gonna just lay on top, and so it would be like those stripes on top. And then when they blended together, it really kind of helped, because it's helping tell the story of how everything is kind of connected, and you can see the beauty in things and capture the beauty. And so yeah. So now I'm kind of finishing up here, as I've just been chit-chatting and talking kind of about this, and you're going to see tons of close-ups, so definitely check that out. I am going to try to have a blog post up on my own channel, just kind of sharing some close-ups too, so when I get that up, I will make sure I come back in and put that in the comment or the info box below. And so yeah, but you know, I definitely stuck to that less is more, and I ended up adding, after my video cut out, the sequins. I decided that I wanted to add some of the sequins around. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Definitely go to the store, definitely check out all of the amazing stuff that's going to be happening on in our group this weekend, because it's International Scrapbooking Day weekend. And so we have tons of stuff going on, and come over and check out my watercolor challenge that I'm going to be posting on Saturday. And I will see you guys later. Have a great scrappy weekend. Bye.